Literacy is the ability to read, write, listen, and comprehend. It's the foundation of all learning. So it feels important to ask, what is the state of literacy today? Well, in 2013, literacy rates had reached their peak. Before then, the only direction was up, and seemingly every year after, the trend has gone down. And that was further exacerbated by COVID-19. Many people like to blame COVID, however, data has shown that it was going down for many years before then. It also was across every single grade group. According to recent national reports, only 3 in 10 students are reading at grade level. Literacy is important in every single subject and facet of education. However, history classes can provide some unique scenarios that students might struggle with. Think about that 3 out of 10 stat that I just brought up. Those are students who are literate in today's reading and writing. Now introduce them to something like Shakespeare or the Constitution of the United States. How fast do you think that's going to drop? It's also important to note the definition of literacy that I read at the beginning of this video. It was reading, writing, and comprehension. Most students can read words, but comprehending the combination of them, that's where literacy seems to really be struggling. The key to something like comprehension is not solely based on your vocabulary. You need a certain level of knowledge in the topic you're reading to really comprehend what's happening. So that takes me to the first strategy that I want to bring up, activating prior knowledge, or APK. A lot of learning is foundational. It's about reading new things and connecting it to something you already know. So for a course like 9th grade government, it's very important that there's a certain level of foundational knowledge that's already there. Now, of course, as educators, it's dangerous to assume that students are all at that level, but it's a helpful strategy for parents to interface with. Striking up a conversation about what they're reading, how they feel about it, what they know before going in, things like that can help gauge where your student is going into something. I want to bring up the Bill of Rights, for example. A lot of them can name all 10, but it's important to ask them, what document is it contained in? Why did they even get written? All these contextual factors and prior knowledge activation really do help comprehension. Reading isn't just about words, it's about connecting ideas. Research shows that students with lower reading ability, but more knowledge, can comprehend text better. So now we've addressed, do they know the topic? Now I want to segue into, do they understand the words in the topic? Vocabulary plays a role in every single subject, and in history, many words like amendment, federal, judicial, things like that, aren't words they interact with on a daily basis. So I want to be able to encourage parents to do explicit concept clarification. There's a myriad of research showing that no matter how high of a level of a reader a student is, if they don't actually know the words or the context surrounding the words, they're not going to get anything out of it. The last core concept that I want to bring up is guided or scaffolded reading. A lot of historical documents don't only contain strange words, they contain strange structure. A common strategy teachers use often is scaffolding or chunked reading. We'll break it down into more palatable sections over a few days and do check-ins for comprehension. This is something that not only educators can use, but parents as well. In a similar way, when parents are making sure their kids are doing their homework, or parents are allotting time for students to do their homework in, do a similar thing with reading. Structured support in complex documents is super important before letting them independently dive in. It might be cliche, but it's practically training wheels for reading. And every level of school, from elementary, middle, to high school, is a different jump. Compare elementary school to a scooter, middle school to a bike, and high school to a motorcycle. Just because your student can ride a bike doesn't mean you would just let them hop on a motorcycle. It's super, super important to make sure you offer support, hold them accountable for their understanding, and walk them through the structure so they don't get so easily overwhelmed. Studies show the best readers didn't do it on their own. They started out with guided, structured support and then gained independence through that. So when your students are working through a long, complex text, slow them down. Make sure they understand a section before moving on to the next section. I know a lot of this can sound like a teacher trying to outsource their job onto parents at home, but really I just want to emphasize the teamwork that it takes for your student to reach their maximum potential. I also apologize for all the nature sounds. I just thought it'd be nice to do this outside.